Hey everyone, this is Julie Mex and the Main Stamper. Welcome into our card class today. I just want you to know that I am a minute late because I have an alligator in my classroom. This is dog toys everywhere. I'm tripping over the things. Also, I ran out of tape today. This is my my tape dispenser. This is my refill. So we're going to do a quick refill here as our class gets going today. So, listening to Christmas music because that's my jam. So I'm a little miscombobulated, but it is Monday. It's 8 o'clock, and I'm hoping that you are having a good Monday yourself. So we are on to the Mega Class Part 2. This is the second. Hi, Lori. This is the second part. So last week, if you joined me, we did Mega Class Part 1, and we are all talking about the Coincides Inn Suite. All about the blues. Hi, Jess. Thank you so much. Good to go. All right, so we have a lot of blues to talk about. This is part 2, so we've got 3 brand new cards using the Coincides Inn Suite. I'm still using the stamp set. I think it's called Lasting Joy. We'll talk about that when we get over there for the sentiments. And I have the mega offer for you too. So I'm going to go over the mega offer because we're on part 2 and it's a different kind of class. It's definitely not my traditional weekly class. So let's go over to my workspace. We're going to take a look at the cards, which of course they're blue, right? We're actually using different blues. I'm going to show you, oh, this was an experiment. This is actually the back of my card. But these are the card bases we're using. We're using different blues than we used last week. There are so many blue options, which is fantastic. I love all of the options. So, hi Deb, hi Sandra. So glad you guys are here tonight. All right, let's get over to my workspace. I got lots to show you. I'm so excited about this class. The mega class, right? So we'll take a quick peek at the cards we're making tonight. So we have this lovely card right here. And we have this one. I have a hard time picking my favorite. I really like this one a lot. And we have this handsome one right here. So these are the 3 cards that we're making tonight. And I want to just remind you what we made last week, because you might be like, didn't we just make those cards? So those are the 3 we're making. Let's take a peek again. This is what we made last week. And I don't know if you're seeing any differences at all. You might be like, wow, there's a lot of blue cards here. These are the blue ones from last week. And these are the blue ones from this week. So there are some differences here. There's going to be a noticeable difference here. We're going to talk about that as we get going. Okay, so lots of blue cards. In fact, when you're done, if you order this mega class, or if you already did, thank you. Some of you guys have already ordered for the mega class. You're going to be making 12. These are 6 cards. You're going to be making 2 of each. So you're going to get 12 card kits. 12 card kits. That's a lot of cards. 12 card kits. You're also getting the designer series paper 6x6. So I've cut them into 6x6 sheets. If you get the mega class, you're basically getting a quarter pack of this cardstock. So they're going to be all the 6x6 sheets. You are getting the Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and you're getting a ribbon share. So we have 2 yards of these 3 ribbons. So you're getting 2 yards of that, and you're getting 1 yard of this ribbon. So lots of ribbon here, along with all of these goodies and 12 card kits. And you're asking, what is the catch? The catch is a $100 order. So with a $100 order, you're going to get some great products. There is a paper sale going on. Don't forget the designer paper sale going on. But you order $100 with my host code. It's HNH3ACN4. You're going to get your 12 card kits, your quarter pack of paper, your rhinestones, all kinds of ribbons, the ribbon sampler here. And that's all going to come to you in the mail next week. You'll also get the PDF directions. I want to just share with you. These are my directions as I make the cards. I scribble out my notes. I scribble out the sizes, inks, all that good stuff. This is a scratch paper. I'm going to put these into some beautifully typed PDF tutorials for you with pictures. So they're going to be very lovely. So you'll be able to print them and save them. So that all comes to you with your order. Now, if you have any questions on that, please let me know. Also, I'm going to talk while I do this real quick. If your order is over 150, I want you to be your own host. So don't use the host code. You don't have to. You are your own host after 150, and I'm still going to send you the mega class. So think about that too. Now this is the stamp and seal, and this is my little container here, and I have to remember how this works because there we go. Oh, good deal. So see, if I can do it, you guys can do it, right? So this is snapping right back together again. We are back in the tapey business. I'm going to put my little thing on there. I always put this on wrong too. All right, so there it is. I have refilled, just while we're talking here, my stamp and seal, which I have to say, originally I didn't really like the tape runner, but I've grown to like this. Now I'm of course I'm using green glue all the time. The Tombow glue I use all the time. I do use this on my ribbons, so you're going to see me using this tonight, which is why I had to refill it. All right, here's what your card kits look like for this week. Now, if you don't want the mega class and you just want to place a $50 order this week, you're still going to get 6 card kits. So you're going to get these 3 cards times 2. You're going to get half of the paper pack. So it's at 1/8 of the paper, right? So get paper 6 by 6, and you're going to get the ribbon, and that's with a $50 order this week. So if you don't want to bump it all the way up to the top, you don't have to. You don't have to get everything if you don't want to. So I did want to put that out there. So there is another option besides, you know, spending $100 this week. But this is a great time to do that because the mega class is not something that I'm going to be doing very often, and it's not something where I go backwards very often. So when we had our cards from last week, typically the week goes by, and if you don't order, you don't get these ever again. I don't usually go backwards, but this is the only instance where I do go backwards because it's part 2. And we're talking again about the Countryside Inn Suite collection on page 62 and 63. Now, last week we used this big honkin' stamp. We talked about this big stamp. And last week, with the first 3 cards, we stamped once on this nice piece of paper. This is Night of Navy. And then we die cut it. When we got done die cutting last week, this is what we had left over. We had this piece right here because we used the coordinating dies. Now I love these dies. I actually love these dies more than the stamp set because they're nesting dies. So there's a lot of use for these dies. Not maybe as much use for the stamp. And then last week we put these onto our card bases. So we cut out different sections of the same one stamped image, just die cut a whole bunch of times, and we filled up our cards. So that was last week. So we're just kind of refreshing. How did we do that last week? This week we're going to kind of do things a little bit differently. We're going to stamp Misty Moonlight on Misty Moonlight, and when we're done, we're going to have this left over. So I'm going to show you that you don't have to just do the stamping on white with one color, right? So again, you're going to see here in the background, I've got the Misty Moonlight with the stamping, some here, some here, some here, and that's what we're doing this week. So kind of the same, but different. And I like to show you a few different options, really. It's just lots of fun that way. So we're going to actually do a little bit of this together so that if you get these kits at home, you know what to do. And if you already have this bundle at home, maybe you are already a demonstrator, maybe you've already ordered it as a customer, and you're just looking for different ways to use it, here we go. So I'm just inking up my stamp here with the Misty Moonlight on Misty Moonlight. So it's tone on tone. Now you could do this with any colors, right? Now I'm going to try to get this as centered as possible. There's a reason for that because I want to actually use some of this paper right here on my card. So I'm just making sure that that's nicely inked up there. We are done with that. We're going to be using Misty Moonlight exclusively tonight. I don't think I've ever done a whole card class where we have used the one color for every card, and that's the only color ink that I have out tonight, Misty Moonlight. And as I'm using Misty Moonlight, I am falling more in love with it. Now this was an in color several years ago, went away for a while, and now it's back as a core color, and I have to say I'm so in love with it. Now you're going to want some tape. This is some like low tack tape, post-it notes, whatever you have here that's going to be able to hold this on here. We're actually going to put the die on here that's going to give us the dotted outline for this paper. I'm just while I'm talking and looking here, I'm going to kind of line this guy up, and we're going to die cut this one. This is going to be our first die cut for the evening. We're going to be doing a couple of die cuts on this because we're using the same paper over and over tonight. And before I go too much farther, we're going to need one more die cut for our card. So as we take this off, and I'm always very careful, even with this low tack tape, you never know when it's going to stick. So here I have what you see here, cutaway. I've got the little dots around the outside. So we're going to use this on our card front. And we're also going to use something more. So this is what we have left right now. We're going to continue to chop this down. So I need to bring in some more dies. And we're going to do a little bit more chopping. I just have to remember which ones I want. I do want this one. So again, it's just a matter of lining these up. And I recommend the little sticky thing on here because it is kind of hard to line those all up. And I also want to do the next one in because I want these two to be separated. So I'm going to bring in some more tape. We're going to do them at the same time. That's just going to save us on trips through the machine. So I'm going to tuck that in there, look for my clear plate, and here we go. Back through again. And that might be it for the die cutting. I'll have to assess as I get going because sometimes I forget what more I need to die cut. So we're going to just take that little bit of tape off. Now these are reusable, so I'm going to continue to use these, but we're going to be really careful here so we don't rip things. All right, put that in my pile off to the side. So you can see that I have this little piece right here. I have this piece and I have this piece. I think that's all the dies that I want for today. So I love the fact that you can stamp this big stamp once, die cut a whole bunch of different images. I could continue to die cut that, but I'm just going to leave that like that. So I could die cut even further. I could get it so this is 2 separate pieces as well. I could die cut it so this is 2 separate pieces. So you get the idea. You can just continue and continue with these fun nesting dies. So let us put away what we don't need. And I'm going to try to not lose it because I'm going to need those later. And we're going to bring in this card right here and put this together. So your card kit, again, always has 2 of everything in it, 2 envelopes, 2 card bases. You're going to have now your designer series paper is, again, from the Countryside Suite collection. It is not the paper that I'm giving to you for free. So you're going to get extra paper. And if you get the free paper and you want to swap out designs, even better, right? So you can swap things out if you want to. You don't have to keep it the same that I have it. All right, so I'm going to set these aside over here. Bring in my card base. Misty Moonlight, where are you? Right here. So we're kind of doing tone on tone. And we're going to start by putting down our designer series paper. Now, this is the other side of it, right? So if you wanted to, you could keep the stripey side up just for this one. So I'm going to give you a quick visual. Stripies, flower, stripe. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll switch it. I like to do things a little differently as I go, and I'm going to switch this one. So we're gonna. So everyone out there that's screaming stripies, you win. I'm going to do stripies with you here tonight because you can already see what the flower one looks like. So let's do stripies and see which one we like better. So I'm going to put this down pretty much in the center here. It doesn't have to be super exact. We're going to cover up all of this. I have glue globs on my fingertips already. We are in for a fun night. Okay, now before I put this down, this is kind of boring. I mean, it's got stamping on it. It's not perfectly straight, and I'm okay with that, but it's boring. So what we're going to do is we're going to jazz it up with some more ink. And I'm going to want a paper. I'm going to bring in this pretty paper. Look at this pretty paper. I've been playing with a lot of blue, doing some stamping. Oh, I have card samples to show you for the June Card Maker Collective Club. There's a sneak peek coming at the end of this. So if you want to stick around and see those samples, don't let me forget because I've already jumped into this card and I was really going to try to do that first. But so I've been playing a lot with cards recently. And having a lot of fun, and it makes pretty background paper too. All right, so this is, again, the Misty. I'm just bringing the blender brush into my sides here, all 4 sides, coming up a little bit, and I'm just darkening down, deepening the outside edges, leaving some of this the same color that it was originally, and it looks so much prettier now, doesn't it? It also separates this piece from the card base because I am putting it on flat, so it gives it a little bit more dimension just by adding some ink. And I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive to this, and then this is going to be glued down. Now, because this is a little bit crooked, I could decide if I wanted this one over here with the thinner side here, this one over here. Let me bring in my sample again. But this is gonna fit top to bottom, and I'm gonna try to evenly put it side to side. And it's basically going to cover up that designer series paper and fit on here oh so nicely. And there's a little bit of the card base that peeks out on either side. So you can kind of open that up, make sure it looks good, right? And there we have step 1, super simple. Now let's bring in some ribbon because we're going to be using ribbon. Last week we focused on the bling, right? So we had the embellishments was my freebie last week. I didn't put any embellishments on this in case you're just doing the 1 week class. But if you're getting the mega class in the mail, you're going to have embellishments and you're going to have ribbons. So you can actually go through and put ribbon on all of your other cards too. So you're going to have a lot of ribbon. So you're going to have ribbon to do all kinds of stuff with. You're going to have the embellishments if you get the mega class. It's going to be awesome. I would like 12 inches of this beautiful ribbon. So let me bring in my ribbon scissors. Exclusive to ribbon only. All right, so there's a nice 12-inch piece of ribbon, and we're going to do the swooshy. We haven't done swooshy in a while. Let me remove that. It's very distracting. You can't see the pretties going on. So basically, we're going to kind of third it, and third it. So we got our three little thirds there, right? So it's kind of just a faux bow almost. And if that doesn't want to stay down, we're going to bring in something to hold it. I got to find my tear and tape. I had to move it earlier. All right, tear and tape is great for the middle of this because we're going to be hiding the tear and tape with all kinds of other stuff. So you still have time to adjust your swoosh if you need to. I'm just going to put this right across the middle, and that's going to catch all three of them, and it's going to leave it a little bit loose and fun, right? So that's always a good thing. All right, let's talk about some more of these elements here. We have on our on your kit, you're getting 2 of these. This is boho blue, and this is the bow punch. Boho blue and Misty Moonlight are best friends. Like, they could not go together better. This is my favorite color combination, maybe of all time. These colors make me very happy, I have to say. So in your kit, you're going to have these other pieces right here. So you're going to take this piece, and you're going to use this for your die cutting. So one of the layers, which I already die cut, so I don't have to die cut that again. I'm just going to grab one out. So magically, we have, this will go away, and this will be a layer. So this is going to be the layer for this piece that we die cut earlier. So this is going to come on here. It is the same size. So we're just basically gluing this piece onto here, but we're also stamping birthday wishes in Misty Moonlight. As mentioned earlier, everything is misty tonight. All right, and actually everything is misty in Maine right now. Holy cow, talk about rain. It's been a rainy week. It's going to continue to be a rainy week. My hair is frizzing like crazy, and it's cold. Like, we had some 90-degree days last week, and now poof, let's struggle to get out of the 40 and 50. It's crazy. So birthday wishes is going to be our sentiment. I did talk about these last week, lasting joy. I chose these just for the sentiments to go with our card because it is sentiment heavy. So we're just using more sentiments here. Obviously use whatever sentiments you have at home. I'm going to take advantage of this cute little flower though, and I'm going to bring this in on the scrap. So you'll have a scrap right here, and I want you to stamp a couple of cute little flowers, whatever flowers you have, right? That's going to be cute. Just kind of go here. So we stamped that, and now to do the centers, I chose another little, it's actually just another little flower because there's really not a center here, and I need a scrap paper. I need something scrappy. Scrappy, anything. Scrappy. Okay, here's a scrappy. I'm going to stamp off and then put this in the center, and stamp off and put this in the center. So I'm just creating these cute little flowers just like that. So you can see how much lighter the centerpiece is. It almost looks like a whole nother ink color, which I think is fantastic. Now here's the sad news. We're fussy cutting these. We're going to do a quick fussy cut though. Nothing fancy. Now if you have a stamp at home or a punch, I should say, and a punch or dies that coordinate, you could probably just, get something really quickly for this card. So feel free to check through your stash and see what you have, but I'm just using what I have picked out to go with. So just a quick fussy cut here, and it's not going to be a perfect fussy cut, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to doctor this up just a little bit, because I wanted these to be a little bit darker. So you can see my white surround is not really the neatest cutting. So I'm just going to bring in, again, the Misty ink and a little dauber, and I'm just going to deepen down the edges real quick, and just kind of, it's going to help to hide the fact that it is fussy cut. So it just kind of softens those up a little bit. It's kind of the band-aid here on our fussy cut boo-boos. So there we go. Maybe a little bit more right there. And once you've got that blue around there, it just kind of blends in a little bit nicer. So that's my kind of quick tip to hide some of your messy fussies. All right, let's glue this together and we're going to finish our final assembly here. So again, this is a smaller piece. You just have to be careful with your glue and not add too much along the outside edge. And this will go right over top. Now you're going to notice I did put the birthday wishes a little bit farther to the left as we're looking down on it. And that's on purpose because I wanted to have room to add my little sprigs and my flowers. It's going to come over here and cover. I'm just making sure I have all of the white here nicely covered. So we're good there. And I need some dimensionals because that's going to help to pop this up. So let's put this over this way and we're going to add in some dimensionals here. And I can see that I will either grab another sheet or I'm going to be cutting all my edges tonight. That's where I am in dimensional land today. Boy, oh boy. Had to refill my tape earlier. Now I have to make dimensional choices. All right, so this is going to cover up our tape here that's holding down our swooshy. So you can figure out kind of how far over you want it to go. And what's nice is it kind of just comes over and touches the edge here as well. So that's kind of just, it really fits perfectly. And I didn't design that way. It just happens to be like magically the correct math. So I can't take credit for that. Now with these bow punches, because I'm going to layer them kind of like this on my card, and I don't necessarily need the sticky end here, right? So the twig end, I'm just going to trim these off because I feel like it's easier to put these on here rather than fighting how the ends kind of smush together. So if you're doing something like this where you're going to hide it behind something, you can definitely trim some of your pieces and you don't have to have everything kind of mishmashing in the center. So I'm just going to catch these two right along the edges here. They fit beautifully like that. And then I'm going to put these on with some dimensionals also. And I am going to make my Monday easier. I'm going to start a new sheet. I'm going to leave those scrappy edges for when I'm alone in my craft room and I don't have to, you know, take time to snip on video. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just pop these up here with a little bit of dimension, my little flowers. We're hiding the tape. And something that I did at the end is I kind of, and I could have done it before I put these down, I'm just manipulating the corners just a little bit and kind of bending them upwards so that they have a little bit of dimension once again, right? So I'm kind of just bending them forward a little bit. Obviously, if they get mailed out, they're going to squish down and be a little bit flatter, but I do like to be able to kind of cup them up a little bit and kind of give them some dimension. Hopefully you can see that. And just like that, we have our birthday wishes card. Isn't that pretty? I love these colors together, like just so beautiful. So we've used 2 sections of our stamped and die cut image. So that's card number 1. Now we can go on to our next card and we're going to work on this one next. We'll do this one. Move my tape out of the way. We're going to bring in our next card kit. And this one has a thick white card base. So this one has a lot of pieces. This is a heavy kit. This one, as I was putting this together, I was like, whoa, I kept loading on paper. I like layers. Man, did I load on the paper. There's a lot of paper here. So the thick white base also makes it kind of, you know, thick, obviously, right? We've got some of that beautiful double oval scallop punch. We've got, I'm going to separate out because we're going to do 2 and 2. I'm only going to put 1 together right now. So you're going to get this embossed piece. This is with the stripes embossing folder. I really love this one. All right, I think I have everything I need here. That is 1 full card kit. Let me set this one aside and bring in my pre-scored base. So I always pre-score the base so I don't have to do that. Another step, right, that you already know how to do. You guys know how to do some of this stuff. I don't have to show you every little tiny step, so I don't want to waste time. But again, this is a lot of layers. So, and a lot of simple layers, actually. This is, I mean, this is going to make a pretty card no matter what. So we're going to put all this together and boom, you've got like some great stuff going on. Now these 2 pieces right here, identical pieces once again, I'm going to ask you to use your dies at home if you have the set. And if not, you can try to figure something that you can do with these. I know Sandra's going to figure out something very clever and I can't wait to see her cards. So this, these 2 will equal these because I've already die cut them. So once again, we're just being a little speedier here. And this is just showing you again, like the whole nesting thing. I love the nesting thing. So let's grab, we're going to be using this. So you can see right now, we're going to be doing more stuff with this one. We're not done with that one yet. And we need this ribbon. Love this ribbon. This is a Misty Moonlight ribbon, and we're going to stamp on this. So let's get our stamping things out because there's not a lot to this one other than some assembly. I have lost, here it is, my little flower stamp. So we're using that same little flower that we used on our first card. It's the cleverest little flower. Oh my goodness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this middle section here. I've used the orientation this way, but we're going to start right in the middle, and I'm going to stamp one of those little flowers because it fits there so perfectly. And then I'm going to go up 2 and fill that in, and then I'm going to come down 2 and fill that in. And how cute is that little flower in the middle there? I just thought that was so cute. All right, so once again, I want to do a little sponging, but before we do that, I'll do my always stamp here. So I always look, that was not meant, that was like a pun, but I didn't mean it to be. I always look for sentiments that are going to fit in this little oval because I love this little scallop. Now, before I put my ink away, I did talk about sponging the edges of this one. So let's bring in my paper again, if I can find it. I tend to set stuff aside and I can't find it again. All right, so we're going to just come in just a little bit here on the edges. So I'm using the bigger blender brush. Now there are smaller ones too, but I have the bigger one out with this ink, so we're just going to use this one. You could also use a dauber. You could use a sponge dauber and just very carefully go, get a little bit of ink. But basically, I just wanted to kind of deepen down the edges a little bit. Sometimes you can pick them up and kind of brush the edges too. That's another way. Add a little bit of ink on there, but yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. I just wanted that to be a little bit darker. I just think it looks nicer to do that. So we have that done. Let me set Misty aside. And this one, oh my gosh, this card is just, it's like almost so simple. All the hard stuff is done for you, which is really awesome. So we're going to put this piece that we cut when we did our big stamping and all the die cutting. We're just going to layer this right into the middle of this white die cut. And then we're going to off-center these two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take advantage of the angles and I'm going to line them up so the white and the blue here are straight and the white and the blue here are straight. And it's going to give me an offset look, which is really nice. And of course, if you wanted to, you could totally offset them in a different manner, but I kind of like that they line up just that way, just that nice little angle right there. So there's our little 3-piece with these great dies. I love the dies for this because you can do so much with them. Nesting dies are just like a go-to. You're going to see me using these nesting dies a lot, like in the next coming year, that maybe however long they're in the annual catalog, I'm going to continuously be pulling out nesting dies to layer things for my cards because it makes it so easy to be able to do that. Okay, we're going to just go ahead and start gluing this down because this is a lot of pre-cut layers. You don't even have to think, you're just gluing. So this is, again, boho blue. And for this card, I kept everything the height of the card base. So our card base is 5.5 tall. So I kept everything. All of these layers are 5.5 tall. And the cute little fox is on the back, by the way. If you like the fox, I really feel like this is a little bit maybe better for this card. But again, if you get the card gets at home, you can use whichever patterns you like. So 5.5 tall. We are doing the designer series paper on Night of Navy. So this one is Night of Navy. And then we've got, again, our white embossed piece. This is with the stripes of the stripes and splatters, the mini embossing folders. I always cut them 3 inches because it fits the embossing folder really nicely. So if you're ever wondering about those mini folders, 3 inches is great to cut and get a nice partial embossed piece. So you can see here how I'm layering it. I'm kind of offsetting some of my layers a little bit. Oh, nuts! I forgot to put down the ribbon. Let's see if we can fix this. As I'm jibber-jabbering away tonight, I Totally forgot that. And if nothing else, I'm going to just lift up enough of this to be able to sneak ribbon underneath. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to lift up just enough right here on each side to sneak in my ribbon because I wasn't paying attention. This is going to go down though still. So there we have it. You know, every card class is different, and the live ones are especially fun because of this. Now, if I was recording a video, I would stop and I would start over. But this is live and we continue onward. We make our corrections and adjustments and we go. So I would like 9 inches of ribbon. I think. I'm going to go with 9 this time. And this is that really fun, it's Misty Moonlight ribbon. And it's got a nice little white border. Now we're creating a little knot here and we're just going to be tucking this underneath. So let's see if I can magically do this because, wow. My goodness. All right, so I'm just going to make a little knot first of all. I'm trying to think, how did I do this? No, I didn't do it that way. That's a faux knot. All right, I'm going to start over. Starting over. Welcome to card class. This is Julie Maxon, the main stamper. I'm just kidding, you guys. So we're just going to create a knot like this, right in the middle. Okay, now I'm remembering what I did. And I probably don't need all of that. I didn't really need all of that. We probably, when I write out my directions, I will not suggest you cut 9 inches of ribbon. That's kind of a lot, but this is where we're going with it. So as I lay this out this way, this end is going to get tucked under here. So this is a good amount to have here. I want my knot to be right about here, and I need to cut this because this is going to get tucked under here. And this is where we're going to doctor this up. So I'm going to do my best magically here to tuck this in. I'm going to tuck in this side first. Okay, this is problem solving 101 with the main stamper. I forgot to add my ribbon. What is the best way to do this? We're going to go this way first. And I need this a little bit shorter. Not too much, but a little bit. So it's a good thing this is an easy card. All right, so I feel comfortable with just this much and the knot right here. And I'm going to lift this up a little bit. So how I'm going to hold this on now is tear and tape because I don't want this to go anywhere, right? So I'm going to add a little bit of tear and tape there. So normally I would run some tape runner, yeah, my tape. I would run it along the ribbon and I would tuck it in and I would tape it on the back to secure it. All of those things went right out the window. All right, so basically I've got my little knot here. Now that's very secured right there. Like the reality is, you know, somebody could pull that off the side, but I'm going to just assume no one's going to try to undo my card once they get it. All right, so now this is going to come back over here and I'm going to go ahead and bring in some tear and tape on this side too. Deciding the best course of option. All right, we're going to put a little bit on the back of the ribbon because I'm afraid that if I put it on the cardstock, I could end up in the wrong place. So the ribbon will come across straight is the best way to come across. Okay, so it's secured there now. And now we're going to use this handy, I mean, this tool is handy. Like if you don't have one of these, you need to get one. All right, we're going to trim again a little bit off because less to tuck in will be a little bit better. And we are going to push that down in there just like so. And now it's tucked under and crisis averted. There we go. And it's on there. It's good. It's not going to come off, so we're good. Now the reality is that if I wanted to, I could probably squeeze a little bit more glue in here where I tried to pull it up and just make sure that these pieces, okay, too much glue. Back off a little bit of glue. All right, so you get the idea. I fixed it. Problem solving 101. All right, so now we're going to come in with more dimensionals and we're going to pop these onto our layered piece that we made earlier. Actually, I might pull that middle one back off again. Pulling the middle one off. What I want to do is I want to see where this is going to go, and then I want to see, because my ribbon's right here, I don't want the dimensional to hit. So I'm going to put one right about there, and then when I lay this down, they all fit just so much nicer. So let's bring in my card so you can make sure everything's in view. Okay, so we have, again, 5 dimensionals, 4 on our layering piece, and 1 on the card base. There we go. All right, so I'm just kind of figuring where I want this to be, perhaps about there. Okay, beautiful. And I'm going to put this one on, always is going to come just down here. So I do need one dimensional on the side right here. And I'm going to put the corner, you know, the straight edge to the straight edge. So it just kind of fits a little bit nicer there. So that's going to go there. This is going to have a little bit of glue on this end where it's going to catch the paper. And we're going to balance this right up here. And there we have our always card. Whew. That one was a little bit of work, but really, this one should have been the easiest card. I guess I made it hard because it was too easy, right? So this is card number 2 in our collective club, or our kits today. All right, let me just check messages really quickly and make sure you guys are still hanging out with me. Okay. Deb's having a problem with the internet. Hi, Connie. Hi, Sandra. Voila, perfect. Patty, oops. Yeah, you know, card making. Card making is, I think I posted something earlier this week about, what did I say? Craftsidence. Craftsidence? Is that what I said? Craftsidence is like when you have an accident crafting, but you fix it and it's really okay. Like it's not technically a full accident. That was kind of like a craftsident. Is a learning experience for sure. All right, so we have one piece left. This is the last piece that we have from that beautiful piece that we did at the very beginning, and we have one card kit left. So we're gonna bring in our last card kit. Okay, this is Balmy Blue. So we have covered Balmy Blue, Misty Moonlight, Boho Blue, Night of Navy, and White. And those are all of the colors that actually are listed in this Countryside Inn Designer Series paper. We're going to use the birds today. So I hope somebody's excited about that because I know, love or hate, right? We're also doing the Countryside Blossoms embossing folder again. Now we did use it on one other card. We used it on a card last week, and that's because it is part of the suite. So last week I did white cardstock and we did some blending of ink. And this week we're going to just do a nice balmy blue here, so you can see how pretty it is in any color. Like it's gorgeous no matter what. So we are going to bring in the last of our card kits here, and so we have Balmy Blue, Misty Moonlight, and we got this right here. Now, when you get this at home and you do your die cut here, these are meant to go together. How cute is this frame? So it's nice to be able to frame things. I've seen a lot of designs, I've seen a lot of samples where they're using these dies, even if you don't stamp in them, they're using the dies as frames. So we're going to frame our little birdies here, but you're going to see that this piece is bigger than this, and we're going to fix it. This Craftsidence is not happening on our watch. So we're going to add some glue here along the middle. And we're going to frame our birdies. So you have a little bit of room to kind of wiggle and see which birdies would look best without going all the way off your paper. Okay, so you have a little wiggle room. So we're going to go right about here, I think. So as long as you can see birds in here, this part doesn't matter. You're not lining up the back, you're just lining up the front. So go ahead and get that into the spot that you like. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to do the trimming. So we're going to come in and we're going to follow the line of our die cut, our cardstock here, and we're just going to trim off these layers. And we're, oh, you know, I kind of like this long layer right there. I might think about that for a minute because I did change. No, it's got to come off. Okay, just, you know, thoughts while you're working in the craft room, right? So we're just trimming that. Now I'm going to come through here and I'm going to trim this edge as well. And these paper snips are the best scissors ever. If you don't have these, seriously consider getting a pair. Actually, I have two. These they're so sharp, and they're just great for all kinds of things. So look how cute, right? We made our little birdie window. Is that not adorable? I love this. I think people that like birds are probably going to make 50 of these because they're gorgeous. All right, let me look at my card here for a second because I see that I wrapped some ribbon and I want to make sure I don't do the faux pas that I did last time. So I wrapped the ribbon around this piece and then layered it on this piece. So let's bring in our ribbon. Now this might be my favorite of the ribbons. This is the Balmy Blue and White. It has a little bit, it's hard to see, Balmy Blue at the top, white at the bottom. Or if you flip it this one, this way. It's white at the top, balmy blue at the bottom. So you have to decide which way you want your ribbon to go. I think I suggested we do like 5 inches to wrap. So basically we're wrapping it here along this piece. So, or you can just kind of cut it, just, you know, eyeball to cut, right? So you just need it long enough here to wrap. And I might want to find my silicone mat because this is where I'm going to bring in my tape that I talked about using and haven't used yet. So I like to, when I put down ribbon, I like to just add the tape here onto my ribbon. And this actually has an orientation, so I want you to look at that when you get yours. Some of these flowers are kind of facing up, like right here. So if you put it on upside down, it's still pretty, but if you're really looking at it, it does have an orientation. And I didn't really realize that at first. So look for that when you're working with this embossing folder. All right, so tape there. There's enough tape on the back here that I'm just going to tuck this over on both sides. And look how pretty. We're just going to put this on here now. So in your kits, you're getting these embossed pieces. So if you don't have this embossing folder, you'll be able to check it out and see if you like it. It's always nice to check things out before you buy them too. That's the beauty of coming to an in-person class in BTW. I have in-person class coming up on Saturday. All my local friends here, don't forget, Saturday is our in-person class. We start at 1 o'clock. So everybody that comes to in-person class really gets to check out the goods. But if you're not going to any in-person classes wherever you live, getting these card kits is kind of nice too, because then you can check out some of the products before and decide, you know, maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it. It's hard to say. So this is the bones of the kit right here. We've got some bones going on. Even if you don't have all this, you're going to be able to make a beautiful card kit. So we are going to put this on with dimensionals. Again, these are kind of easy card kits. All the hard work is done. I think I'm going to do 6 this time. This is a bigger piece. We're going to do 6. And get these on here. My mom was, happy birthday to my mom. I want everyone to say happy birthday, Linda. My mom just turned 75 yesterday. And she said she's going to get an order in this week. She goes, I just need to order from you because you're going to send me the kits. And she goes, it's too hard to think about what to make. So when you get the kits in, you don't have to think, you're just decorating and going. But yes, my mom, 75 yesterday, big birthday. So awesome. Oh, I just bumped my camera. Make sure I'm still in. Okay, good. We're going to bring in, again, Misty Moonlight. We've been using this all day. Lost my train of thought. I'm looking for you. So you're going to get this little flagged piece. This is from the Pick-a-Punch, the banners Pick-a-Punch. And I'm going to just put in the For You. Again, small sentiments, kind of generic. I like to use generic ones if I'm doing the front of a card. So we're going to put For You on here. I am actually going to trim this up a little bit though, because I don't need that to come all the way across. So where are my snips? So we're going to trim this up right about here, I think. So I'm just kind of, again, eyeballing it a little bit, and we're going to put that down just like that. So this ribbon, oh my gosh, so pretty. We're going to make a gorgeous bow here to top this off. This ribbon is the softest, sweetest ribbon to use. So now we're going to make a nice bow, and our bow should maybe be about 10 inches or so, maybe more. How generous do you feel? I'm going to go with 12. I'm feeling very generous today. Because it's nice sometimes to have a big ribbon, especially when it's soft ribbon. This is really soft ribbon, so it's really nice to work with. This is, again, this is my favorite besides the Misty Moonlight, or the Night of Navy one, the darker one. This one right here, this one was a really nice soft ribbon too. The other ribbons that you're getting with the ribbon sampler are, they're a little bit thicker. They have a base to them because there's so much going on the ribbons. And I just want to make a nice big bow. So we're just going to play with this for a minute here while I decide how my bow is going to go. We're going to start over. We're starting over one more time. Let's try this again. As I say, how beautiful this ribbon is. It is really rich ribbon. Okay, that's a little bit better. I know Michelle is yelling at me. She's saying, I have a bow maker. I have a bow maker. She brings it to class and it's fantastic. She makes the best little bows with it. All right, so I wanted to just kind of a nice big bow here, but we do need to flag the ends a little bit. just so we got that going on in each direction. And I'm going to put this right here on the end with a little tear and tape. So I'm going to flip this over, put that on the back of my bow, and I always work this down into the bow a little bit because otherwise it's really hard to, it's going to be hard to separate this piece. In fact, I don't know if it's going to be easier with my fingernails or with my little tool. This is the hardest part of the whole card, getting the tape off the back, but it's so worth it. I probably should have put the tape onto my card base instead of onto the ribbon, but here we go. All right, I got it. We have got this. All right, so here we go. Look at how beautiful. And this is one that's not bumpy. So you know, as you mail cards, I like the not bumpies more than the bumpy ribbon, right? So the bumpier ribbon is going to cause you to need more postage, right? It's going to be thicker and bumpier and, you know, non-machinable, all of those things. All right, so let's take a look at all the cards because we have a lot. So we have this one. If I can even find them all. Where did I put them all? Where did I stack up all my cards for today? This was last week's. We had this one from today's class, and we had this one from today's class. So these are the 6 you're getting. So a $50 order this week, you're getting card kits. You're getting these 6. You're making these 6. You're getting 1/8 of the paper sample, and you're getting the ribbons. All the ribbons. These are the ribbon samples, right? So that is your weekly card class. But if you're doing the mega, I want to show you how beautiful all these cards are together. So we had, let's see, yes, these are all the cards. So you're getting 12 card kits right here. That's mega, right? I'm like filling up the screen here. And you can see how nicely they all go together. Obviously we're using the same Designer Series paper pack. We have all the different blues going on here. They just look so pretty together. This collection makes me so happy. So I hope that it makes you guys happy too. So this is a look at, so we used last week, we used the white card stock with the Night of Navy, right? And then this week we changed it up. We went Misty Moonlight on Misty Moonlight, and we have totally different looks on our cards. So that's the difference between the two. Now before we switch the camera, I want to show you Cardmaker Collective Club really quickly. Sneak peeks. So these are the 4 cards that you would be making with the June kit. So we have some embossing here. The designer's paper is fantastic. Love this die. I was playing with this die earlier this week. We have this one again, the designer paper. We're playing with some white ribbon in some different ways. This one is absolutely gorgeous. You're getting the die cuts. You're getting some embossed pieces. You're going to cut your own Designer Series paper. This is the last card, again, using that great I love that so much. So these are the 4 cards that are part of the June Cardmaker Collective Club. This will be featuring the gorgeously made, let's see if I can find it here, gorgeously made stamp set, which is great. Love the background stamps. We've used the sentiments. I mean, every stamp in here has been used. This is the dies. So you get 2 big leafy ones. You get one for sentiments. It kind of looks like it's been torn. You get something that's going to make your paper look like you ripped it. And you've got that fun little tab there as well. And then we're also featuring the masterfully made paper. You're getting bling and ribbon. And that's all part of the June Cardmaker Collective Club. I have a blog post that I just put up today regarding that and the sign up for it if you haven't signed up. So if you have, I love that you guys are saying happy birthday to my mom. Thanks, Mary. I'm glad you like the cards. If you haven't checked out Cardmaker Collective Club and you're wondering what it's about, go over to my blog, The Main Stamper, and you're going to see Cardmaker Collective Club June 2023. It's going to show you a little bit of the sneak peeks there. It's going to show you what you're getting in your card kits, how to sign up, all of the details. Now, for you guys that have been doing Cardmaker Collective Club with me since the beginning, which was January of this year, I started it January 2023. You're on month 6, which means your Cardmaker Collective Club kit this month will have your $25 coupon for free Stampin' Up! Products in my online store. So if you've been hanging out with me for 6 months, this is your 6th month doing the Cardmaker kits, guess what? You have earned your $25 in free. That's really exciting. So check out my blog or ask me questions here as well, so you guys can get that information that you need. The signups for that are due June 18th. You also have the option through me to get the gorgeously made bundle at the catalog price. It's part of your kit if you want it. I invoice you separately. But you don't have to use it if you don't want to. Highly recommend this one though. I really like this one. So that's those are my cards. I hope you guys enjoyed the mega class. Let me know what you think of mega class. This is new to me, the mega class. I've been doing weekly classes with 3 card kits, or 3 cards, 2 each, so 6 card kits. Thanks, Sandra. She likes my cards. So I've been doing a weekly offering. This is a mega class, so I did something different. And I want you to know next week on Monday, next week's going to be a totally different week because I have my annual mystery host party coming up. And if you haven't done mystery host with me yet, you're in for a real treat. I go big for the whole week. I will be live every day. I haven't determined the time yet. It may vary on each day, but I'm going to be doing demonstrations all week. They're all going to be different. There are not going to be card kits incentives for next week. So your order next week is going to get you into the raffle to be the mystery host. And I draw the mystery host at the end of the party. It's going to run for about a week. Everyone can have a chance to earn their place into the mystery host pool, and then I draw the big winner out, and then the big winner gets all the host rewards from the entire party. Now I want to say that last year I believe Debbie got, I don't know if it was over 300 or more in free plus a half price item. So mystery host is a pretty big deal. So you may want to check out mystery host, hang out with me next week. I'll have more on that coming up too. But for this week, we have the final of our mega class. I'll be doing blog posts and talking a little bit about the cards as this week goes on. So lots coming up. June is a great month. Don't forget paper, designer series paper sale. Stampin' Up has a great join offer. So if you're interested in getting 20% off of all your orders, and you want to hang out with me even more and my cool team, the creative crew, talk to me about joining. They have a good join special this month through the end of June. You can join. You can pick out $155 worth of products for $99. Easy peasy, right? We all do that. So, okay, you guys, I'm glad you're having so much fun. Thanks for joining me. I'll read through your comments a little bit more as well. Thanks for wishing my mom happy birthday. That was a really big deal, 75. All right, I will see you on Thursday for a Thursday at 3, and we're just going to keep partying. So, all right, I think that's it for me. Until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, everybody.